Hello everyone, and welcome to the Philippine Market Wrap. This podcast is intended to general information and market commentary purpose only. It is not financial advice and does not recommend buying or selling of any financial products. Please make your own investment decisions responsibly. In today's episode, we will recap the Philippine market for the week of June 22nd to 26th, 2026. The PSEi ended the week slightly lower, and we'll walk through the sector moves and key individual names from Friday's session. In the second half, our feature stock is Globe Telecom, ticker GLO, and why I continue to hold it in my portfolio. Let's get started. On Friday, June 26, 2026, the PSEi closed at 6,072.224, up to 1.18 points, or 0.02% on the day. Compared with the previous Friday's close 6,135.35, the index was down roughly 63 points on the week, a modest decline. The broader all shares index closed at 3,330.35, down 0.02% on Friday. Total market turnover on Friday was 8.52 billion pesos across 82,920 trades, with total volume of 808 million shares. Advancers numbers 97 and against 80 decliner, with 66 named unchanged. Slightly tilted trend buyers on Friday, through the week as a whole ran cautious. By sector on Friday, three sectors finished at positive territory. Financials led the way, gaining 1.06%, property added 0.87%, and holding firms were up 0.72%, with domestic demand-oriented sector showing some resilience. The clear laggard was mining and oil, which fell 2.78%. The sector was faced consistent selling pressure through the week, reflecting ongoing unease around the Middle East situation and oil price volatility. Services also declined, down 1.06%, while industrial slipped 0.29%. The most actively traded stock at value on Friday was ICT, International Container Terminal Services, with turnover of approximately 1.51 billion pesos. ICT closed at 885 pesos, down 1.12%. BDO Unibank was second, with around 580 million pesos in turnover, closing at 121 pesos, down 0.822%. A name worth highlighting is MYNLD Water Services, which ranked fourth value around 248 million pesos, despite edging lower today to 90.88 pesos. The volume's attention around this water infrastructure place has been notable. On the upside, Synergy Golden Development, or SGP, was a standout gainer of 4.55% to 29.9 pesos. Ayala Corporation, or ASC, also had a positive session, up 1.49% to 422.22 pesos. Jollibee Foods, or JFC, was one of the notable decliners, falling 2.59% to 131.5 pesos. Let me step back and put the week's weakness in context. Monday, June 22nd sets negative tones, with the PSEi falling roughly 1.6% to 6,035 as foreign investors sold across sectors. The index gradually recovered through the week, finishing Friday at 6,072, but couldn't quite reclaim the previous Friday close. The biggest macro rates continue to be the Philippine Q1 2026 GDP growth, which came in at just 2.8% year-on-year, the weakest non-pandemic reading in year and the slowest amongst major ASEAN economies in the quarters. To put that in perspective, Vietnam grew 7.8% in the same quarter, Indonesia grew 5.6%, Malaysia grew 5.3%. The Philippines, which holds the ASEAN chair in 2026, finds itself in the unusual position leading the regional bloc while lagging in economically. On top of that, the prolonged Iran conflict continues to keep oil prices elevated, adding to impact cost pressures in an economy that relies heavily on imported fuel and energy. Now, for our future stock, Globe Telecom, ticker GLO. I also hold GLO, my own portfolio, with an average cost of 1,465 pesos. At Friday's close, 1,800 pesos. That is a gain of 22.3%, or roughly 4,900 pesos in unrealized profit. Globe is one of the Philippines' two dominant telecommunication groups, offering mobile, fixed broadband, and digital financial service through its GCash platform. GCash, operated through a global subsidiary, MYNLD, has become one of the Philippines' most important pieces of financial infrastructure. It has helped bring millions unbanked Filipinos into the financial system and continue to grow in both user numbers and transaction volume. The case for Globe over the medium to long term comes down to two things. First, the core telecom business, stable, cash generative, and very encouraged. Second, GCash optionally, a high growth digital financial platform sitting on the top of the stable foundation. I want to be precise here. As of this recording, there is no confirmed announcement of IPO for MYNLD of GCash. That remains a possibility, not uncertain. But even setting that aside, Globe's combination of telecom stability and digital finance growth is structure worth paying attention to for investors with a long-term horizon. The dividend track record also provides some income support while the longer-term story develops. Three things I'm watching next week. 1. Whether the PSEi can hold above the 6,000 level, a psychological support zone that the market has been defending. 2. The next Banco Central Filipina monetary policy meeting and any signal on the rate path. The central bank is navigating a difficult balance between slowing growth and still elevated inflation. And 3. The mining and oil sector, which fell nearly 3% on Friday. The direction that takes will be a close tied to Middle East developments and crude oil prices. To wrap up, here are the three takeaways from this week. 1. The PSEi ended the week slightly lower, with a Monday sell-off that one only partially recovered through the rest of the week. 2. Mining and oil was the weakest sector, reflecting persistent sensitivity to the Iran situation and higher oil prices, a headwind that hits Philippines particularly hard as an import-dependent economy. 3. Globe Telecom offers a combination of stable telecom cash flow and GCash growth story. It remains one of the more interesting long-term positions in the Philippine market. Thank you for tuning in. See you again next time on the Philippine Market Wrap. Salamat kayo. Amping.